How to fix Last of Us Part 1, Crashing with FSR Native AA Frame Generation. Welcome back to Teknobalta. Today, we're diving deep into a prevalent and frustrating issue for many gamers. The Last of Us Part 1 crashing specifically when FSR Native AA and frame generation are simultaneously enabled, especially impacting users with Intel Arc GPUs. This scenario presents a unique challenge, as it combines advanced rendering techniques that promise significant performance gains with the complexities of GPU architecture and game engine optimization. We'll explore the underlying technical reasons why this specific combination might lead to instability, from driver conflicts and VRAM management to API inconsistencies and system resource exhaustion, providing you with a comprehensive suite of solutions to restore stability and reclaim your immersive gaming experience in this critically acclaimed title. Understanding these intricate interactions is key to diagnosing and resolving persistent crashes. Update Intel Arc graphics drivers to the latest version. Always ensure your Intel Arc B580 GPU drivers are fully up to date, as driver updates frequently include critical stability fixes, performance optimizations, and specific game profile adjustments that directly address issues with FSR and frame generation compatibility. A newer driver can resolve previously unrecognized hardware-software interactions, causing crashes. Verify game file integrity via Steam. Corrupted or missing game files can lead to unpredictable crashes, particularly when advanced rendering features are engaged. Utilize Steam's built-in Verify Integrity of Game Files function to scan and repair any discrepancies that might be causing instability in The Last of Us Part 1. This ensures that all necessary assets and executables are intact and correctly installed. Disable all third-party overlays and background applications. Software overlays from platforms like Steam, Discord, Xbox Game Bar, or even GPU monitoring tools can sometimes conflict with game rendering processes, especially when frame generation is active. Temporarily disable these overlays and close any non-essential background applications to isolate potential software conflicts causing crashes. This minimizes system resource contention and enhances stability. Implement the FSR quality mode with Sharpening workaround. As a primary diagnostic step, revert FSR from native AA to quality mode and enable frame generation, then slightly increase in-game sharpening to compensate for perceived. This specific configuration has been observed to mitigate crashes by potentially reducing the computational load or altering the rendering pipeline in a more stable manner for your Intel Arc GPU. While not the ideal FSR Native AA, it often provides a significant performance boost without sacrificing too much visual fidelity. Lower key graphics settings to reduce VRAM and GPU load. Aggressive graphics settings, especially texture quality, shadow quality, and anti-aliasing, can push VRAM and GPU core utilization to critical levels, exacerbating instability when frame generation is active. Systematically reduce these settings by 1 or 2 notches to alleviate strain on your Intel Arc B580, which can often resolve memory-related or performance-induced crashes. This step helps determine if the crashes are resource-dependent. Monitor system temperatures and ensure adequate cooling. Overheating CPU or GPU components can lead to thermal throttling and system instability, manifesting as application crashes, particularly under the sustained heavy load introduced by frame generation. Use monitoring software like HW Monitor or MSI Afterburner to check component temperatures during gameplay and ensure your cooling solution is performing optimally. Clean any dust buildup and confirm proper airflow within your PC case. Update your Windows operating system to the latest build. Keeping Windows 10 or 11 fully updated ensures you have the latest system optimizations, DirectX versions, and security patches that can improve overall system stability and game compatibility. Microsoft frequently releases updates that address underlying API issues or introduce performance enhancements beneficial to modern gaming titles and hardware. Confirming your OS is current eliminates a common source of conflict. Perform a clean installation of GPU drivers using a standard driver update may not always remove all remnants of previous driver versions, potentially leading to residual conflicts. Use Display Driver Uninstaller in safe mode to completely remove all traces of Intel Arc drivers, then perform a fresh installation of the latest official drivers. This clean slate approach is highly effective in resolving deep-seated driver-related instabilities. Disable any manual GPU overclocking, CPU too, if applicable. If your Intel Arc B580 or CPU is manually overclocked, even slightly, this added instability can become apparent when frame generation pushes the hardware to its limits. Revert all GPU and CPU overclocks to their default factory settings to eliminate potential hardware instability as a crash factor. Test game stability at stock speeds before reintroducing any overclocking. Increase your system's virtual memory, page file size. The Last of Us Part 1, especially with high settings and frame generation, can demand substantial memory resources. Ensure your Windows page file, virtual memory, is adequately sized, preferably managed by the system or set to a custom range that is 1.5 to 2 times your physical RAM. Insufficient virtual memory can cause crashes when physical RAM is exhausted. Check for any game patches or hotfixes from Naughty Dog/Sony. Game developers frequently release post-launch patches to address performance issues, bug fixes, and compatibility problems with new hardware or driver versions. Regularly check the official Steam page or Naughty Dog's community channels for any recent updates to The Last of Us Part 1 that specifically target FSR or frame generation stability. These updates are crucial for long-term playability. Run The Last of Us Part 1 with administrator privileges. Sometimes, insufficient file system or registry permissions can prevent a game from accessing necessary resources, leading to crashes. Locate the game's executable TLOU. exe, right-click, select Properties, navigate to the Compatibility tab, and check Run this program as an administrator. This ensures the game has the necessary permissions to operate without restriction. Update your motherboard's chipset drivers. Chipset drivers facilitate communication between your CPU, GPU, RAM, and other system components. Outdated chipset drivers can sometimes cause data transfer bottlenecks or instability that indirectly affect GPU performance and stability under heavy load. Visit your motherboard manufacturer's website and install the latest official chipset drivers for your specific model. Evaluate your power supply unit, PSU, for sufficiency and stability. A power supply that is either underspec'd or failing can deliver unstable power to your GPU and CPU, leading to system crashes, especially when demanding features like frame generation spike power draw. Ensure your PSU meets or exceeds the recommended wattage for your entire system, and consider testing with a known good PSU if other solutions fail. This is a critical hardware consideration. Adjust Intel Arc control panel settings for stability. Within the Intel Arc control software, explore graphics profiles and advanced settings. Consider reducing the power limit, lowering GPU clock offsets, or adjusting other performance-enhancing options that might be contributing to instability when combined with FSR Native AA and frame generation. Experimenting with these parameters can sometimes find a stable middle ground. Disable Windows Game Mode and Focus Assist. While designed to optimize gaming, Windows Game Mode and Focus Assist can occasionally introduce conflicts or unexpected behavior with certain games or hardware configurations. temporarily disable both features in Windows settings, gaming game mode, and System Focus Assist to see if they are interfering with The Last of Us Part 1 stability. These features are not always universally beneficial. Reinstall or repair DirectX and Visual C++ runtimes. Many games rely on the latest versions of DirectX and Visual C++ redistributables for proper execution and rendering. Corrupted or outdated runtime libraries can cause unexpected errors and crashes. Download and install the latest official versions from Microsoft's website, or use the installers typically found within the game's installation directory. This ensures fundamental dependencies are met. Review Windows Event Viewer for crash details. The Windows Event Viewer provides detailed logs of system events, including application crashes. After a crash, open Event Viewer, Windows Logs application, and look for critical errors related to The Last of Us Part I, or display events around the crash timestamp. The error codes or messages found here can offer crucial insights into the root cause, such as specific DLL faults or driver failures. Experiment with different in-game display modes. Switching between full-screen exclusive, borderless full-screen, and windowed display modes can sometimes resolve rendering path conflicts that lead to instability. Some display modes interact differently with driver optimizations and frame generation technologies. Test each mode to see if one offers greater stability with FSR Native AA and frame generation enabled. Consider rolling back to a previously stable Intel Arc driver version. While generally not recommended, if a recent driver update introduced new instability with FSR Native AA and frame generation, an older, known stable driver version might offer a temporary workaround. Only attempt this if all other solutions fail, and you can identify a specific driver update as the trigger for the crashes. Ensure you use the for a clean rollback. Don't forget to follow Teknobalta for more in-depth technical guides and troubleshooting tips.